Today we will discuss about service. This is one more AngularJS element and which is more or less same as factory, and often people confuse that which one to use. Okay, before discussing about the differences between service and factory, let me explain about the few common properties of services. And it is most of the behavior are exactly same as factory. For example, you can write business logic over here, and you can write reusable code. So whichever the code you have written in the service, that can be shared across different controller C1, C2, C3. Also it can be used by different factory or another services. So whichever the code you have written in the services, so it can be shared across other component. And also this services also is a singleton. That means only one instance will be created by the AngularJS and which will be available to all these components whichever available inside that Angular application scope. Okay, and also even though you create a service and add a JavaScript dependency, it won't be instance won't be created automatically. So this also will follow the same lazy instantiation pattern of factory. Okay, so whenever a controller use it or depend upon it, whenever this is getting initialized, then only the service, the instance of actually will be created. Only if you declare it, so but not use, then this instance won't be created. So that means whenever needed, it will try to load that service as a dependency. Okay, now let us discuss a little bit about what is the difference between factory and service. And if you remember, in factory we have said that it is better recommended way to return the object. So factory should be defined and return the object, and object should contain data and the different kind of function or the business logic we can say, but they should be encapsulated inside an object and can be passed into a controller so that controller can access the data and the function. Okay, but the service, we no need to return anything. Okay, no need to return anything, but whichever this data and the function, we have to use this keyword. This is a JavaScript notation, this which refer to the instance which is created by the AngularJS for us. So using this keyword, we can access this data and we can say this dot say hi or any function we can associate it. Even though we do not return this AngularJS will return this for us. Okay, so whenever we try to access in the controller, so particular this we are referring, but we can assign some name. So using that particular service name, we can access this properties and this functionality from the controller. Okay, now this is very simple and usually it is not widely used because similar kind of functionality you can use by factory. So it is sometime recommended, or there are some lot of discussion about the internet, you can read few of them article, but it is better to use factory instead of getting confused using when to use service and factory. So it is better to go for the factory. Let us show you a very simple example so that you can understand how to construct a service and use it in your application. Let's start creating a service. We have to first create the Angular module. I given name as app and passing that empty because there is no dependency for it. Then I will use the service function. Then we will give the service name, getting service. Okay, here I will use this, that is very important. Then I will give a name and I will assign some name here, and also I will assign some, say hello. Okay, function name return hello, Mr. whatever the name we can give it. Here we can directly access this dot name, but I prefer to pass the input wherever needed. And for accessing from view, we need to have a controller. Let's say I given person controller, and we'll use as a dependency. Let's say give this greeting service over here. Because this is the instance of this particular service, so I prefer to start with using small letter. So I can, this is just kind of naming convention I usually follow. And here I will use controller syntax. So I will use var self this dot, and I will create again a name which can be accessible to the view now. So I will just mirror that object. Then I will create one more function which can be called by view. So function name, then self dot message. I create a model property self dot message. I'll just empty. I'll initialize to empty. Here I will call this service and say hello, and pass the name whatever I receive from view, and it should populate it in the message. So now let's create a HTML for it. Now I'll start with HTML ng app. Okay, now I'll use the ng controller. Here I given person controller as person. I have defined the name person dot name. Okay, then I will use button just to click that greeting. So ng click, so person dot greeting. Hopefully I am doing this spelling correction correctly. Okay, now let me display the message what I got from that greeting call. Person dot message. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, now just let's double check it. Here ng control name is person control, we given correctly, and here we person name, we try to access this particular variable. The data is stored from greeting service. Steve Jobs, it should display over here. And in the ng click we are calling the greeting. Yeah, that's correct. And we are passing the name person dot name. That's correct. And it should call this greeting service, say hello, pass the name, and it return the message hello Mr. Steve Jobs, and it should be displayed over here. Now let's see whether it is working properly or not. Okay, now let's give some button as a name. Say hello. Okay, now it looks better. Now name is Steve Jobs, and say hello button and message. If I click here, hello Mr. Steve Jobs. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can find the notes and the link to code snippet below. Please say hi over an email. I'll definitely reply you if I am not sick or in vacation. You can like and also subscribe to this button. You'll get an update as soon as I post a new video. If you want to help me, please spread this word. Maybe somebody find this video through you. Thanks very much again, and have a great day.